Hi, everyone. We're back again with the Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming community. We're here on Wednesday Entrepreneur Unleashed, where we're going to talk about procrastination. I know I've talked about this subject a couple of times, but it's something that it's very important to really understand procrastination, what is going on in our mind that is causing this procrastination. Even after 14 years of studying the mind and understanding this, and this is out there, I still hear so many gurus teaching the wrong things. Seriously, it's scary, but I see a lot of people out there talking about how to break it down into small chunks, set alarms, to-do lists, wake earlier in the morning, find times of the day, things like that. They're good things, don't get me wrong, but they're not actually understanding why this is happening. And this is the idea with all this community, all the work that I'm doing, sharing with my book, the course, working with me. It's all about understanding the mind. If I want to fix a car and I don't know how the car works, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to fix the car. If somebody comes to me with an airplane and tells me, hey, Tommy, fix my airplane, I'm not going to be able to because I have no idea how an airplane works. Seriously. And that you can take it to any area of your life. If you don't know how something works, it's going to be very difficult to make changes. And the mind is so much easier how it works than what most people out there try to make it sound like, oh, it's this complex system in your mind, blah, blah, blah. It's not. And you're going to see in a little bit what I mean with this. So let's get going. Let me find... I have an image that I want to share with you guys to help you understand a bit more. Sorry, I didn't prepare it before. So we're going to talk about procrastination, dealing with procrastination the right way. Why do I say the right way? Again, because I've seen so many people treating it the wrong way and creating more problems than solutions. So that's the idea with today. So let me find this over here. Perfect. I'm ready with that. So let me see, I'm going to share the screen a second. So first of all, before I share the screen and start talking about procrastination, again, remember, we need to understand how the mind works to be able to now deal with the challenge, with the problem in a much better way. And that's where I'm going to go today with this. So I'm going to share the screen so you can see. Here we go, procrastination explained. Yes. So here we have, right? Let me see if I can write here because I never remember normally when I try to, yeah, here we go, perfect. So procrastination explained, right? How the mind works. Again, it is so freaking important to understand the process the mind goes through, right? We have in the subconscious mind what is called our belief system, our beliefs. Our beliefs have been created during childhood. Whether our parents were around, were not around, their interaction, many different things helped to create our belief system. The problem is that many beliefs are not correct. Why do I say that? Because, example, maybe my dad wasn't much around because he had to work very hard to be able to provide the family, right? And that absentee parent hit me hard thinking that, oh, I'm not good enough, that my dad wants to play with me. He's always busy. He's not around. So I started creating beliefs around the environment I'm in. And many of the beliefs that we have are wrong. Many times we started creating the idea that if I mess up, that's going to be really bad because I get punished. So I started thinking that whenever I try something and I mess up, I get punished. That is painful. Painful, I don't want to go through that. So the mind starts creating behaviors to try to protect me from that pain. So beliefs, our belief system that we're creating in our past, right, are in our subconscious mind. Those beliefs are going to trigger emotions, yes? And those emotions are going to trigger behaviors, right? So look at an example over here. We have failure. Yes, I don't do anything right. Imagine that when you were a kid, whenever you did something wrong, you were judged, you were criticized, you were rejected by your parents, right? So I feel like a failure whenever things don't go the way that I want. And I could have in a script in my mind that says, I don't do anything right. And I have worked with people that have had those beliefs in the back of their head, that they're not good enough, that they're inadequate, that they never can do anything right, and their parents are always angry at them. They have these beliefs in the back of their head. Those beliefs are gonna, as it says here with this arrow over here, right, that you can see, are gonna, trigger emotions. So I'm gonna feel fear, right, of doing things, getting out of my comfort zone, because when I was a kid, I was punished each time I tried something new. So instead of being taught how to face challenges, how to learn from my mistakes, how to, mistakes are good, I was taught that mistake was bad. Mistake brought pain, but brought rejection, judgment, criticism. So the mind associated, of course, something negative. So fear and frustration, I'm going to feel before I do what I need to do. So the mind says, wait, Tommy, let's find a behavior to try to stop ourselves from feeling pain. Okay, so procrastination is created. Procrastination can be a protective mechanism of the mind to avoid, look at the avoidance here, to avoid what? Avoid pain, to avoid fear and frustration, and to avoid confirming, quote unquote, it's not true, but it's a false belief in the back of our head that we're a failure and that we do everything bad, or we make mistakes and that's bad and that is punishment and whatever. This is how the mind works. Whatever behavior we're having, procrastination, self-doubt, overthinking, low motivation, laziness, whatever it is, the behavior, it is the byproduct of a negative story that we're telling ourselves. So whenever we want to overcome these things, the procrastination, a behavior, we need to start going deeper and enter the subconscious mind. How do we enter the subconscious mind? Through our emotions. So the 3 questions that I teach, and you have heard them, and I'm going to repeat them over and over again, is how do I feel? Why do I feel this? And how does this make me feel about myself? How do I feel? Fear, frustration. Why do I feel fear, frustration? Because I'm scared of, doing it wrong. And what happens if I do it wrong? How does it make me feel about myself? It makes me feel like a failure. It, quote unquote, confirms that I'm doing everything wrong, that I can never do things right, that things are always going to turn out wrong for me, that I will never be able to do things the right way. We need to enter into the subconscious mind to find the beliefs that I have created that are causing the procrastination. It's not about dealing with the procrastination, it's about understanding why the procrastination is there. Let me know if this is making sense, people. This is so important because, again, I hear so many people out there teaching the wrong things, teaching how to deal with procrastination by, again, breaking things into smaller chunks, pushing yourself, beating yourself up to get things done. We need to truly understand how the mind works. So again, one more time, we have beliefs that are going to create emotions. Emotions are going to create behaviors. So whatever we're struggling with, now today we're talking about procrastination, we need to understand that that is the byproduct, is a protective mechanism, is a protective behavior the mind created to avoid yourself, avoid feeling pain. Whether it is feeling fear as something that most people, see it as a negative thing, or frustration, or confirming, quote unquote, the beliefs in the subconscious mind of, I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving, I cannot make it, I always make the wrong decisions, I always make mistakes, and these things, I'm inadequate, or whatever the story I'm telling myself, because the story is the limiting belief normally that is creating the negative behavior, is a limiting negative and false belief in the mind that was created in the past. So I cannot, or I shouldn't, let's put it this way, I shouldn't try to deny it. I shouldn't, try to push myself harder to overcome procrastination. Because again, if procrastination is a byproduct of me not wanting to feel a failure. And if I push harder to try to overcome procrastination and I try to do something and then it goes wrong, I'm going to feel even worse. And that is going to, in a way, kick in more procrastination. So it is not right what most people are teaching. We need to explore the mind to find our unique stories that we have in the back of our head that are creating the cascade of things that eventually create these self-sabotage, procrastination, these negative behaviors. But again, it's not the mind trying to screw me up when it's self-sabotage. It is trying to protect me. So write it down in the chat, please. Please write it down in the chat. The mind is protecting. The mind is protecting. It is not trying to screw you up. It is not, trying to get you into troubles. It's the opposite. The mind is trying to protect you in the only way it knows. So when you're able to understand this at a deeper level, what starts happening is that I can start making changes, because if I understand how the mind works, I'm going to be able to start making changes. I hope that makes sense. I hope you like this short explanation, but very powerful around procrastination, or even bigger, how the mind works. And this is based on the work that I do and all the research that I've been doing for 14 years, working with thousands of people around the world to realize this is the truth, right? It's not the monkey mind. It's not all this, a lot of crap that people are saying. It has to do with the mind being very intelligent, trying to protect you. Yes, of course, it has limited information. If we're able to understand this and then bring the right information in and kind of negotiate with that part of you, eventually procrastination can be overcome for good, right? It doesn't mean it's going to go away for every single situation. You might need to go back to this exercise to understanding, okay, I was procrastinating over my taxes, I was able to do them. Now I'm procrastinating on doing a video. I'm procrastinating on launching my course. I'm procrastinating on asking for a raise at work. I'm procrastinating asking a woman out. You got to do this exercise again, but to get rid of procrastination, that specific moment, you need to go through this so that you can connect deeper with yourself and become more your true self. What most people are teaching is to disconnect from yourself. That's why a lot of people are obtaining the things that they're getting, and you can see in Hollywood, they're able not to procrastinate and become, really good actors and all these things. But eventually, deep down, you see these actors falling into, cheating, into drugs, into alcohol. Why is it that a person that has everything in life is going through such big crises? They have the recognition from society, they have money, they have their partner, kids even, and they fall into these problems because deep down they have disconnected from themselves. Yes, so the idea is to be able to connect with ourselves and through love be able to take actions in the things that we need to do. So I hope this makes sense. I'm going to stop the sharing. Here we go. Open here the camera for you guys to see me. So procrastination is the byproduct of something deeper. If you don't dig deeper into the mind to understand what's going on, it's going to make it very difficult to be able to truly overcome procrastination in different specific situations, because it could be one story because of the taxes. It could be another story that you're not doing, asking for a raise. It could be another story of, telling your boss something that's not working in the company, or whatever it is. There are different stories that you're telling yourself, and it needs to be dealt in an individual, basis. But at least you understand the process a little bit more on how to start overcoming procrastination for good in different situations in your life. This is very important, because the more you understand the mind, the easier it makes it. Easier, not easy, easier it makes it to start making bigger and bigger changes in your life. So thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on social media, I appreciate that. I really hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you're watching, #live if you're watching live, #replay if you're watching replay. It was a short video, but very powerful in content. Go back and watch it again to understand how the mind works. the more understanding you have, the better it is to be able to start making changes. So again, thank you very much. I know it was repetitive, but it is so important to really be able to bring the changes that you're looking for. So thank you. See you in the next episode. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.